Barron Trump, the youngest member of the most famous family in America, is a mystery to most people. While his siblings are in the public eye, he's stayed hidden from the spotlight, living a life that's completely different from the rest of the Trump family. So, what makes Barron so unique? Why has he chosen to step out of the spotlight, and what does that tell us about his future? Stick around to find out how Barron Trump is quietly shaping his own path, far from the chaos of his family's world. Barron Trump, the youngest child of former President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, has become somewhat of a mystery in the media, often staying out of the public eye despite growing up in a household that is rarely out of the spotlight. While his older siblings, Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric, have been deeply involved in the family business and political career, Barron has chosen a very different path, one that is private, low-key, and far less visible. This stark contrast has made him a fascinating and unique member of the Trump family, offering a glimpse into how different a life can be when one chooses to remain out of the spotlight. Barron was born in 2006, and since his early years, he has been the subject of curiosity, particularly because he is the only child from Donald and Melania's marriage. While other members of the Trump family have been quick to dive into the limelight, Barron's life has been more secluded. The Trump children, such as Ivanka, were actively involved in their father's campaign during his run for president, frequently appearing at rallies and participating in public events. However, Barron's life was intentionally kept away from public view, with Melania Trump emphasizing the importance of giving him a normal childhood, one free from the media's gaze. His mother, Melania, has been especially protective of Barron throughout his life, making sure he was not exposed to the intense scrutiny that her public role as First Lady or his father's political and business career often brought. Melania once told CNN in an interview that she didn't want Barron to be an object of attention and would prefer he enjoy a normal life, similar to what most children experience. She made it clear that Barron's needs came first, above all else, and she kept him largely out of the political spotlight during Donald Trump's presidency. While his siblings were heavily involved in the family business and political campaigns, Barron stayed behind the scenes, rarely seen at public rallies or in the media spotlight. In many ways, Barron's upbringing has been defined by his mother's decision to shield him from the pressures that come with being a member of the first family. When Donald Trump became president, Barron was the only child who didn't immediately take on public duties. He remained in New York, finishing his education at the private school he had been attending before his family moved to Washington, D.C., to live in the White House. This was a decision made not only to shield Barron from the public eye, but also to allow him to finish his schooling in peace and adjust to life in the White House without feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of his father's presidency. Throughout his childhood, Barron was often seen with his mother, who is known for her devotion to him. Melania rarely spoke about her son publicly, but when she did, it was clear how much she prioritized his well-being and privacy. She once said that Barron has a very strong personality and is very independent. Despite being quiet, he is incredibly intelligent and has a sense of humor that only his family truly knows. The bond between mother and son has been evident, as Melania consistently stepped in to shield Barron from media intrusion, emphasizing the need for him to have a normal, happy childhood. Though he has been very much in the background compared to the rest of his family, Barron is not without his own distinctive qualities. His personality, often described as private and reserved, stands in sharp contrast to the more outgoing and politically active personas of his older siblings. While Donald Jr., Eric, and Ivanka Trump were vocal in supporting their father's political career and in participating in public life, Barron has shown little interest in stepping into the same political or business roles that his siblings have embraced. Instead, Barron's interests seem more focused on his education and sports, particularly soccer. He has been spotted practicing on the White House grounds, and it is well known that he has a deep love for the sport. Barron's passion for soccer has often been noted in the media, though he rarely discusses it publicly. Unlike his father, who is often seen in the public eye, making bold statements and conducting business deals, Barron has maintained a low profile, preferring to pursue his interests quietly. His love for soccer is not only a way for him to engage with his peers, but also a healthy outlet for his energy and focus outside of the pressure-filled world of politics and public appearances. Another aspect of Barron's uniqueness is his height. Even as a teenager, Barron already towers over his parents, an indication that he has inherited his father's tall stature. While Donald Trump is known for his imposing height and larger-than-life persona, Barron has grown into a figure whose presence is undeniably striking, yet he remains grounded in his private life. This physical resemblance to his father is often commented on, with many noting how Barron's height makes him appear older than he is. However, despite this, Barron has shown no desire to follow in his father's political footsteps. While Donald Trump embraces the media's attention, Barron has instead chosen to carve out his own identity in a much quieter way. Barron's behavior and personality also indicate that he is more introspective than the rest of his family. Donald Trump is famous for his brash, often controversial public comments, while Barron has shown a much quieter, more thoughtful side. The contrast between the two is striking. Where Donald Trump thrives in the limelight, Barron seems content to stay in the background, away from the pressure and the media frenzy. His demeanor is calm, reserved, and thoughtful, and while he may look like his father, his behavior sets him apart, making him seem like a different kind of Trump altogether. Beyond his physical traits and interests, Barron's sense of independence also sets him apart. Despite being raised in one of the most high-profile families in the world, Barron has not been molded into someone who craves attention or recognition. His desire for privacy and independence from the expectations of his family members demonstrates that he values the importance of living life on his own terms. This characteristic has led to comparisons between Barron and other famous children of political families, many of whom have faced pressure to follow in their parents' footsteps. One of the most telling aspects of Barron's life is the relationship he shares with his father. Donald Trump's public persona often contrasts with Barron's reserved nature, yet there is a clear bond between the two. Donald has spoken about Barron in interviews, expressing his pride in his son and often referring to him as a very special boy. Though they share a close relationship, their interactions are much more private than the relationships that Donald Trump has with his older children. Barron's interactions with his father also show a level of respect and calm, reflecting the more grounded and quiet nature of Barron's personality compared to the more fiery public presence that Donald Trump is known for. Barron Trump's story is one of complexity and contradiction. Growing up in a family that thrives on public attention, Barron has chosen to remain distant from the spotlight. He is not interested in the world of politics or business that his siblings have embraced. Instead, Barron is focused on enjoying his childhood, excelling in soccer, and maintaining a life free from the pressures of fame. His decision to remain private and follow his own path in life offers a refreshing contrast to the loud, opinionated, and controversial world of his father, Donald Trump. While the world may continue to watch Barron as he grows older, one thing is clear. He is a young man with his own identity, shaped by his choices, his passions, and the protective care of his mother. Barron's life serves as a reminder that not every child of a famous family seeks the limelight or chooses to follow in their parents' footsteps. While his family has made headlines for their political and business roles, Barron has managed to remain true to himself, focusing on his education, his passions, and his privacy. As he continues to grow, it will be fascinating to see how Barron Trump chooses to navigate the complexities of being part of one of the most famous families in the world, while maintaining his distinct sense of self. Barron Trump may be the quietest member of the Trump family, but his story is anything but ordinary. As he grows older and continues to chart his own course, it'll be fascinating to see where his journey leads. Whether he stays in the shadows or steps into the spotlight, one thing is certain: he's already proven that he's different from the rest of his family. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.